Hi, Vaibhav is here, bringing you a really difficult brain teaser. So it begins with a story. In a jungle, there lived 200 saints. They were of two types, one with a black spot on the top of their head and other without it. One day, by the order of the god, it was decided that a holy feast will be organized from the next day. The condition was that only those saints who did not have a black spot on their head should come, and if they do not know whether they have it or not, then they should not come as soon as they realize it. Now the problem is that there are no mirrors in the jungle. Saints are not allowed to communicate with each other, and they do not know that whether they have a spot or not. All the saints were very honest and intelligent. It is also known that there is at least one saint of each type, that is, with and without black spot. There will be at least one of each type. Up to 99 days, all the saints come for the feast, but on the 100th day exactly, not even a single saint with black spot could be spotted in the feast. Tell the exact number of saints with black spot in the feast. So let me help you a bit with the hint. So maybe these are your saints, all 200 of them. Now, some of them randomly have black spot on their head. So you see, they cannot see that whether they have black spot on their head or not. And there are no mirrors. There is no one to tell them that they have black spot and they don't know it by birth. So there is no way by which they can know that whether they have a black spot or not. What is going to happen in the feast is that everybody would be in a confused state that whether he has a black spot or not. He would be carefully looking at every other person that whether he has a black spot or not, because there is one information that is very important, which is there is at least one saint of each type. So everybody would be looking for that one person, in case there is just one, whether he has come to the feast or not, or whether in the upcoming days he is coming to the feast or not. So this is your hint, that everybody would be carefully looking at every other person so as to know that whether there is someone with a black spot out here, or he himself is that unlucky person with the black spot who will have to miss the feast. So go on and try this question with this idea in mind. So you must pause the video and think over this. After this, I am continuing with the solution. So when you are done with thinking, have a look at it. So the solution to this problem is very interesting. It will just open the windows of your mind. So let us assume that there was just one saint who had black spot on his head, because it is given that there is at least one of each type. So let us assume a case wherein there was just one saint with a black spot on his head. Say suppose this is the feast going on, and there enters a person with a black spot on his head. Here he comes. Now he'll just look around and find that, oh my god, there is no one with a black spot on his head. Now this means that I am the culprit, I am the unlucky guy who has the black spot on his head, so I should not be coming from the next day. This way, if there is just one person, then he'll easily get to know that he should not come from the next day. Now what if there was a second person with a black spot on his head? Now the second person makes his entry. The second person is also here. This first person would look at second person and think that he has black spot on his head and won't be coming from the next day. In the similar way, the second person will look at first person and think that this first person has black spot on his head and won't be coming from the next day. But what happens next day is that, thinking this, both of them come back again. Now realizing their mistake, the first person would think that second person must have seen someone with a black spot on his head. So he would look around in this gathering and find no one with a black spot. Then he'll come to himself. This means that I must be having the black spot. Similarly, second person would also think exactly what first person thought. So the next day, both of them won't be coming. Now what if a third person makes the entry? Here is the third person. Now the third person makes an entry. He'll see that there are two people with black spot on their head. So both of them will be coming for 2 days in the wake of their confusion, but on third day both of them should not appear. But what happens is that on third day both of them appear. Now the third person works out his gray cells and looks at the gathering, but he finds that there is no one with a black spot on his head. Now he comes to himself. This means that I must be having the black spot, because had only two of them had the black spot, then they would have not come on the third day. But when they are coming on the third day also, this means that they are looking at someone else who also has a black spot. And since there is no one else like this, should be me. So on the fourth day, all three of them would disappear from the gathering. So what a question says is that up to 99 days, all the saints come for the feast. But on the 100th day, not even a single saint with a black spot could be spotted. This means that on the 100th day, all the black spotted saints disappear from the gathering. So, if there was one saint with a black spot, he disappears on the second day. If there were two saints, they disappear on the third day. If there were three saints, they disappear on the fourth day. So, since they are disappearing on the 100th day, this means that there were 99 saints with a black spot on their head. And here is the answer. So the answer is 99 saints with a black spot. Hope you liked the video. Feel free to ask me any kind of doubt.